Yo, what's up, Eric?
All right, cool. Yeah, what's up, man? I couldn't hear you for a second, and I
Yeah,
just realized that I didn't join the audio.
it's connected. All good, all good. How's it going, man?
Hey, life is good, man.
Happy to hear it. And down in LA, right? Where am I catching you at?
I'm over at Redondo Beach, man.
Okay,
Actually, over by like the beach area, South Bay areas, like Hermosa, Redondo, Torrance. Mostly, my address is physically in Torrance, though.
okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So how are things down there right now? Is still pretty crazy. I know, like all these states, going back and forth with what to do with the pandemic shit, right?
Yeah, there's certain parts that are I mean, certain cities that are worse than the others. Obviously, like you
Hmm.
got Huntington, who's not too bad, but then you have like over here in Torrance where they're going strictly by the LA rules. So
Mm,
it's pretty like got to wear a mask when you're indoors,
right.
stuff. I know there's some. I know I heard of some gyms that did that weren't like pressing the issues. They were letting these people work out just
Yeah.
without it, which is kind of funny.
Hasn't affected too much for you though.
Dude, I ended up getting the vaccine, and then when I got my second shot, I got it like the week right after my fight that I
Hmm.
had like 3 weeks ago. And dude, this shit fucked me up because I was
Oh
recovering
yeah.
from the fight and I was already like aching sore and all. And then I had to go back with that vaccine shot, and that thing just like amplified everything and it just
Right.
fucked me up for like 24 hours. I literally couldn't I just didn't want to get out of bed or anything.
Yeah, that's brutal timing.
Yeah, it
So-
was horrible time. I kind of regretted it, but then I had to go to Scottsdale later that week for a bachelor party.
okay.
So that's why I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get it over with. And then nobody wore a mask over there. So
Right. Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. Did you ever end up getting the virus or all good there?
no, no, I actually luckily I never thank God
Yeah.
never had to deal with it. But I know people that did and they said it was not a good time.
Yeah, no, I had it back in March and yeah, really, really annoying, not too
Mm,
fun, but all vaccine now and all good. So wouldn't recommend it, but so
yeah,
good to
right.
good to be. Hopefully it's getting closer to gone and all that stuff. But anyway, man, thanks for catching up, man. Good to talk with you for the
Absolutely.
first time and taking the time. I like
Yeah.
the setup you got, dude. It looks like a nice little studio you got there.
It's literally just this thing I bought on Amazon, and then
Okay.
I can actually put a boarding between it, so I can set stuff on it. So like I could put a boarding through these little cracks, but
Okay.
it's like there's a piece that's broken, so I'm gonna get something different now. But yeah, it's just something to block off the background because my computer and everything's right here inside my living
Right.
room. So right when you walk in, you see my computer. So it's
Okay.
kind of
You like made a small room sort of now, a little pocket
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Very cool. It looks cool though. But
Thank you.
yeah, man, you mentioned the fight though. Congratulations on that, dude. And also congratulations on the proposal, right? The engagement was after
Yeah,
that fight.
yeah.
So I mean that was awesome to see. Was that the plan the whole time or did it just come to you in the moment there? I mean, I guess you had the
No,
ring, right? So it was planned.
no, it was planned. Fucking nerve wracking though, man.
Yeah.
It took me like the half around just to like really wake up and feel like my normal self again because it was a lot of nerves. You know what I mean? You're like, I was like, oh, I gotta win this fight.
Right.
So like, and if I don't win this fight, I already had told myself like, I'm not gonna ask her if I had to win the fight because then it's just gonna like buzzkill
Yeah.
for the other guy and it's just like it's not my floor anymore. But everything went my way and but I almost broke my arm in the process. Almost took my arm with him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, shit, that was probably a little bit of a distraction, right? To have that. You were thinking about that mid fight, right? So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I got caught in the armbar, dude, I heard it crack like a little bit, and it just hyperextended. And I've already had that feeling when I was in high school when I did it in wrestling. So as soon as I felt that, the pain went away, and I was like, well, this can't get any worse than this. And I just started doing my escape, and it fucking got out of it somehow. But it was deep, man. It was definitely deep.
the arm was okay, though. You didn't have anything too serious.
Oh, it's still sore today, man.
Yeah.
It's still sore till today. It's
Yeah.
probably going to be like a month, maybe a month and a half before full recovery. And I haven't been doing anything with it, so
Okay.
um, but I mean, regardless, I'm fine though. Everything else was cool. Nothing severe, anything crazy.
Yeah. It came out practically with 2 wins in that case. So
Yeah,
it worked
exactly.
out.
She said yes, so it
Yeah.
could have gone south real quick.
Okay. That would be a first. I don't know if we've ever seen somebody say no to a fighter who's proposed in the cage? Not that I can think of anyway. So you don't want
Who
to be
was
that
it?
guy.
I think it was Benson that asked his two
Right.
first proposal, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It was after the Gilbert fight, I think. Yeah, when he
Yeah,
defended.
and then he
Yeah.
was getting booed though because the fight.
Yeah, people thought he lost and all that. So, definitely
So
a
it could have
scene.
been that situation, but definitely wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. Worked out. But yeah, man, you hit me up and asking about Diego Lopez, who I spoke to recently, and then the day after, you mentioned, all right, not going to work out, and obviously, I guess we know why now
Yeah,
because he's going to Contender Series and trying to get in the UFC
yeah.
himself. But what was it that kind of made him stand out to you? What put him on the radar?
Uh, well, you know what, man? I was actually talking to one of my sources, and they were telling me about how he called out Trevor 5-star, and he's like a 135er. So he
Hmm.
called out a guy that was like a little light, a weight class below him, and he was a weight class below me, and is also coming out of my management team. So I was like, fuck it, might as well spark it a little bit, you know.
Hmm.
And I mean, unfortunately, he didn't want to take the fight at 155. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. I kind of just, as soon as I knew that, I was like, all right, this is nothing's gonna work. So
Yeah.
I just honestly, I want to get a fight, man, and maybe even take a short notice fight. I'll take one, even at 170 if I have to. Um, but I mean, from what I'm hearing and from everything going on, momentum's kind of going my way. So maybe I might have to secure another win. Who knows? But I'm definitely going to be keeping my name thrown out there as soon as I hear of any short notices and stuff like that. I know plenty of people, always 155 fights. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, that seems like it's happening more and more. I mean, it's always been a case where if you're willing to step up on short notice, you'll get in there. But if we see it all the time now, I mean, even Diego's kind of that case because somebody fell out of that. It wasn't like he just got his
yeah,
originally. So he's filling it for somebody too. So always good to stay ready, essentially. Right.
yeah. Like I could have possibly gotten a fight in October. No, in October. The 9th. No, what's it, the 9th? It's like 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been like the 9th or something like that, or the 16th for a possible fight, but for a title fight. But I have a wedding that weekend, so I just
Hmm.
might. Unfortunately, the fiance would have been pissed if I said if I
Right.
would have taken a fight. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait it out. Not a big deal, but I mean, I'm still gonna stay fight ready. So if I could fight the week after, I'll even do it, which won't be
Hmm.
a big deal, But we'll see what happens. There's going to be so many different. Um, there should be, you know what I mean. It's going to be a lot of opportunities. I think. And then if anything, I could just always try to go for the contender series, which wouldn't be a bad idea also.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like there's more options than ever for fighters now, right? And like
Mhm.
obviously UFC is still the goal for most people and everything, but are you open to like other opportunities with let's say a Bellator or PFL, they're giving out $1 million now and that kind of thing. Is it strictly UFC in your mind?
No, man. I'm definitely open to the idea of something else. I mean, any sort of like you know, a promotion like that is going to be definitely worth it, in my opinion. And you're only going to get your name out there to different viewers and different type of people. And then you can always just hop back into UFC. If you're doing good off of another organization, and you can become a free agent.
Right.
So, I mean, but I think I'd be open more to like fucking PFL, man. PFL would be a pretty good. I think it's a pretty organization. I like the way they do like their statistics on like the bottom during the fight and like the
Hmm.
miles per hour on the. I think that they like those little kind of things are dope. So then you can't lie to the fans who got the
Right.
most hits, who can't, you know what I mean? Like, there's no, it goes to the judges. It's like, dude, it's on screen right there. It says all the punches, kicks, whatever.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's all accounted for. So then it's a fair fight. It's supposed to like a judge fight. Everything is just
Yeah.
laid out on pen and paper right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to see things, and that's kind of the whole thing about open scoring, which is really nice. I think I like that because it's like we could see scores in every other sport, right? It's weird that MMA is kind of like a secret, but I know people don't like that so much. And since I'm mentioning it, like, how do you feel about that idea where being able to know if you're actually winning a round rather than guessing? Like, seems nice,
Yeah.
but
I mean, you could think you're winning a round two, and then they could just be beating you for some reason. The
right.
judges are going off takedowns, and they get one takedown, but you were getting, pummeled the entire fight.
Mhm.
But then you happen to get that one takedown, they only count down. And
Yeah.
then I've lost a round like that before, so it happens. But I actually do like that aspect the most about PFL, which is why I would like to, if I had an opportunity to join them or even join that tournament, some
Mhm.
one of those tournaments, that'd be epic for sure. I've done a tournament where I fought 3 fights in one night for 100K, and I made it to the finals and then lost to the hometown guy.
Mhm.
You know, for Combate, which is now Combate Global, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just speaking of that, man, like you said, you feel like the momentum's on your side. I think that's safe to say. You've got plenty of experience now. What your next fight will be your 20th, right? Professionally. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how important do you think it is to have that many fights now, be on a winning streak? Like the time, you're very close. It feels like you're about to be there, right?
For me, yeah, it does feel that way. Uh, you know, that'd be I don't really care if I've taken another fight before there.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to go on a 3 streak, that'd be cool. You know, I know guys that are fucking taking those, like I said, those short notice fights so quick. So I just got to jump on one of those. And even if it's a big name, take it. I mean, you got like D-Rod who just stepped up against Kevin Lee,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but you got D-Rod with the momentum. Kevin Lee's, you know, seems like he doesn't have any momentum right now because his name isn't being thrown out as crazy like it used to be.
He's been out for a
Um,
while too. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so yeah, I definitely think I got the momentum, man. I think if I would have finished my last fight with a TKO, I think it would have been a better baggage, you know, more of a momentum. Uh, but it is what it is, and I dominated all 3 rounds, and you know, I showed. You know, I'm considered what they call me a blue belt because I never like I never like doing gi, so I would just do
Right.
no gi. I've been doing no gi freaking forever, and you know, and I was taking out a brown belt, you know, just dominating him on the ground. So it's just, you know, like I have the level of like the level of technique that all these guys have, and you know, I think I'll be one of the most underrated fighters going into the UFC, but I'll be shocking a lot of people without a doubt.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Is like, despite, getting the decision in your last fight and still being dominant, you're still, I would say, more known as a finisher because you only have 5 decisions overall. So, like, those numbers don't lie if you want to talk about numbers, right? So, I mean, that's got to be important,
Yeah.
you think, too, to get yourself noticed, always being able to finish people in, a variety of ways like you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, let's see, you couldn't have said it better, man, honestly.
Yeah. And then, the value of having competed in Combate, like, do you think that was important too to get you ready for, the next stage that, is coming?
Yeah, because there was a lot of viewership there, man. I got noticed by a lot of people more down in south in like, you know, down south of the border. But I think that having that type of viewership and people see me was definitely put me more like being more comfortable or not having any sort of nerves. 'Cause I see guys have nerves when they have a bunch of people watching, you know, kind of the adrenaline dump kind of kicks in. You know, doing that tournament in Peru, I think was a big one for me. And then, you know, having like a big crowds. And I think that I'm just more excited for that because now it just kind of feels me more. I don't really get nervous too much that often unless like, you know, I always get the nerves like as I step into the cage and then once the door closes, I'm good, you know, or like a little bit, you know, that little anxiousness
Right.
during the weigh-ins and that's about it.
Would it be kind of, as satisfying for you to make your UFC debut with no crowd?
Uh, Fuck yeah, man. You got the name. The name speaks for
All
itself.
right.
Everybody's watching, you know. Everybody watches. This is like just to know that the gloves and the shorts are all going to be, you know, UFC logo is just going to be enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be down to fight at the Apex.
Yeah, man. I mean, work your way to the crowds anyway. They're coming back. I mean, they're letting people in the Apex now, so never mind. I guess that's I forgot about
Mm-hmm.
that. So that's
That's like a
always a good
small
thing.
crowd they let in, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, man. And along with everything that you've been able to accomplish in your career to this point, everyone always points out as like losses is something that you learn from the most, which I think that is definitely fair to say. But in terms of
Mhm.
the biggest learning experience for you, when you think about that, what would you say that it's been and so far?
My biggest loss that I learned from?
Just the biggest learning experience overall. It might be a loss, but you
Oh,
tell me.
I say the biggest learning experience for sure. Um, I would say the Peru fight, man. The 3 fights in one night was definitely the biggest learning experience for me. Uh, I could have finished the guy in the third round. I could have finished him in the second too, if I had just let myself go into the second round with everything like I did into the third. So I learned a lot about myself and what I had in me and how to dig deeper uh, into the later rounds. And I think that that's what I took the most the most knowledge out of, just because, it was 100K on the night on the line, and
Mhm.
unfortunately I didn't get a piece of the cake, the big cake, but I learned a lot from that shit, man, because I had to go back and view all the footage and everything. And first two fights went according to the plan. Just go in there and grapple. I knew these guys down there aren't as high level grapplers as we are over here in the U.S. We're a little bit, past the time of struggling, and just all dominant grapplers now. So I think that the first two fights I did perfect, and the third one is just the one where I held back too much because I was too reserved, because I literally, the guy had a 30-minute while I fought for the full 3 rounds, he was resting, and then when I got out,
Right.
they immediately made me go in within 5 minutes later. So I was still recovering, so I was a little bit more like trying to save energy, and I could have just easily just let it go for those entire
Mhm.
rounds instead of just kind of holding it in. So I think that I learned a lot from that, and being able to let myself go even when I'm tired, because I usually have more energy than expected.
Yeah, I mean, understandable, man. It's like nowadays, not many people get to compete multiple times in one night in MMA. So I'm sure that was definitely, a harder experience to have to go through.
Yeah, well, you get that, like you get like that adrenaline, and then it
Mhm.
goes away, and then you come into the second fight, and then you get another boost of
A
adrenaline,
roller
and then, like,
coaster.
by the third one, you're just like, you could feel every single fucking punch, kick. It's like the adrenaline is just trying to keep up, but it's fun, man. It's like you said, no one's ever really gonna do that, and Combate definitely has provided that opportunity and
Yeah.
kind of like experience to be able to do, which is pretty cool. It can brings it back to like the first UFC days,
Yeah,
that tournament they had in the first event.
exactly. I mean, so you'd be willing to do something like that again? I mean, it wouldn't happen in the UFC likely, but if something like that was a thing.
Man, if something like that, sign me up, man. Definitely will have a different mentality going into it.
Right. Yeah, that experience definitely helps. But I'm curious, man, like everybody's got their own unique stories about like how they got into MMA in the first place and how you got here now, man. So I'm curious what kind of led us here in the first place.
Um, you know, I used to be kind of a wimp as a kid, actually, growing up. I was more of the wimp in the family. But then I got into wrestling, man, when I was 13. I wanted to play football during high school. My big brother he's a wrestler. He was actually Iron Man like 2 years in a row. Like, he was team captain. And he's like, "What do you want to do?" And in high school, 'cause he's 3 years older than I was. And I was like, "Oh, I want to play football." So he's like, "No, no, no, no." He's like, "Come for wrestling for the summer. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it." And I was like, "All right, cool, cool." Went in for the summer, man. I just fell in love with the sport.
Mhm.
It was just like, I was good at it right away. There was another kid that was my age that was in there, and we were both in there every single day during the summer. Just, man, I can't tell you. And then got into my first street fight when I was like 14, and then knocked some kid out, got a ground and pound, and then kind of just got into a bunch of street fights, and I just like wasn't very good at school, man, because I didn't put any effort towards it. Got stuck in the party scene. So, after I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then ended up just kind of going back to MMA, and I went back to classes and signed myself up for amateur fights. And this was like right after I got out of jail, because I got locked up for just for being a freaking idiot at the age of 18 and doing stupid things. And
As we all do.
yeah, and I think after that experience, I was like, "Fuck, man, this is not for me." And that's when I kind of just went back to MMA after that and stuck with it. And the kind of rest kind of wrote itself. Went 6-1 as an amateur, and then I picked up a coach. My third amateur fight is when I actually got into like a full-time gym with a coach and everything, which I'm still with him now. So it's been like years now with Ian Harris, who's my head coach at a Fight Science. Uh, and yeah, man, that's basically what I got into. Just started off with street fights, and then from that first day in wrestling, just kind of fell in love with the one-on-one contact. I didn't like relying on like a team,
Yeah.
throw a football out, or pass a ball to. It's just like all you. It's like you lost because he was just better than you.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that kind of going through maybe, the harder times, right? And getting through that. If you didn't do that, maybe you wouldn't have ended up here in the first place. Is that fair?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to go military, man, and then
Mm.
my record actually kept me from going in.
Mm.
It's a crazy story behind that too, because I actually had permission from the court,
Oh,
and
wow.
shit happens. My recruiter ended up just fucking me over, and Yeah. So, anyways, my plan was to go military, and I wanted to go. I wanted to actually eventually try out for the Navy SEALs, and but it didn't work out that way. And now I'm just focusing on MMA, and I think it's going to take a big turn of events once I get picked up here. I think that I'll make, like I said, I'll be shocking the world, and one fight at a time for sure.
There you go, man. And still follow football much, or is that in the past now?
I still follow, yeah, for the most part. I mean, I don't keep up with college ball, so
Yeah.
you start talking college ball to me, I'll be like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're saying."
More of an
Uh,
NFL guy myself.
yeah, just NFL, man. NFL is just I like watching that. When I got the Raiders, I'm a Raider fan since I
Yeah.
was a kid. So, not I know not many people are fond.
Right, right. Are you bummed they moved though? They left you.
No, dude, I actually like it better in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool move. I think it's a sweet move, especially for Vegas, and it's a big following from the Raiders, has a huge, huge following,
Yeah.
a lot of loyal fans. Um, and I also like stream for a gaming company for the esports team of Las Vegas, and
Oh.
they're based in Vegas, so it's like kind of like together. So if I go over there, they have a little bit of connections, and then
Hell yeah, dude.
I've actually so it makes it all kind of like in a way it kind of was meant to be. So I was
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. I know that stadium is crazy too. And it's like so sad that they didn't have any fans last season for the first time, that they were
Oh my
opening
god, just
that
a big
thing.
empty stadium for a whole freaking year.
The Death Star, yeah. That's cool though,
But
man. I didn't
I'm
know
actually
that. Oh, go on, go on.
go ahead. Oh no, I said I was gonna. I'm actually going to a football game October 4th for the Rams and oh no, Chargers and the Raiders. Sorry. So
Okay.
that'll be a fun, pretty lit game. I think there'll be more Raider fans than anything else.
Yeah, the Chargers don't have too many fans anymore. So,
Yeah, not since they left San Diego.
right, that was a interesting move. But yeah, man, that's cool that you're still doing gaming. I knew that you were doing stream. You've been streaming for a while now, but I didn't know if you were still doing it. So that's cool, man. Like, what are you playing these days? What are you mainly showing off, I
Dude,
guess?
man, I only play Escape from Tarkov and some port. I still play. I still dabble around with Fortnite, but I've been playing a ton of Escape from Tarkov. It's like a military. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's like a military kind of like battle royale game, and
Okay.
it's super super fucking realistic. So, you have no map, no radar,
Oh
nothing,
wow.
and like when you're playing with your teammates, there's no like says there's nothing that says it's them, and you could shoot them and kill them by accident, which
Oh,
obviously that's always like the worst moment, but the
right.
funniest.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. Like the physics and all that, the guns are all real, the gun parts, everything about it is pretty crazy. A lot of it was based a lot of kind of like interviews were done with actual soldiers that went into war. So
Hmm.
every gun, when you hear the gun in the game through your headset, it's actually the real sound of the gun for every single one. So you can actually like tell the difference between what gun is being shot around you.
Okay. Wow,
It's pretty
that's
crazy. It's pretty
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Is this a newer game? Because I do some battle royals. I'm on Apex right now, and uh,
Okay.
yeah, I haven't heard of this one
For
though.
PC, right?
I'm actually on Switch right now, so
No, no, no. This is
yeah.
only strictly on the computer for the
Okay,
PC. That's why. And that's also the cool part. There's no like console players on there.
right.
I used to be a huge fucking PlayStation player, man, and that's all I used to run. And then my buddies convinced me to get a computer, and I did. I was like, you fucking assholes, not spend a bunch of money on a computer.
I know. I've been Xbox for so long too, and one of my friends is like, "Dude, get a PC, join the dark side, man." I'm still thinking about it, but
That's what everybody says. Join the master race.
right, right. So,
That's literally the first words I heard.
yeah, I'll probably cave eventually, but it's all fun. It's all good fun. So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, that's basically yeah, that's why that's why I like the team because it's like based with that. So it's pretty cool. I actually a lot of shit going on with actually that esports team, which is really cool. And they have just like recently became the actual esports team officially,
mhm.
and it was like stamped by the mayor, which was pretty cool. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
As far as like creating an organization and stuff.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's such a becoming such a bigger and bigger thing to like be a part of. If you know, the fighting thing didn't work out for whatever reason. There you got that. And I mean, you can do it anyway too. That's the thing. The nice thing about it. Like, look at Demetrius Johnson is doing both at the same time, whipping ass online and in the cage. So.
Oh, I know. I actually watch him and there's a couple other fighters, Stipe.
Yeah.
And Chris Weidman.
Wonder Boy's on there now. Yeah.
It together. Yeah. Wonder Boy's pretty cool. It's pretty funny, actually. They're actually hilarious to watch if you do watch them. It's
right.
Funny.
Very cool, man. But and Ghost Pepper, I wanted to ask you about it earlier, but I'm sure you've told the story about the nickname before, but I'm curious, you know, what's the origin story behind Ghost Pepper?
Man, I used to go to a restaurant with my mom.
Okay.
It was called Habaneros Pepper. It was like actually, believe it or not, it was a Mexican vegan joint. So it was Mexican food that was vegan, and then we also had our Mexican food. So we had two, you know, still had our meats and still had our vegan options. We ran about 3-4 years, and then there was one day, me and my family sitting around. We'd close for the day. My uncle comes, and he comes with ghost peppers, so my mom can make some salsa, and I didn't know what they were. I'd never even heard of them at the time. And this was, man, I was like, I think like 18, 17 or something. No, I was like 19 actually. And so 10 years ago. And he was roasting him, and he's like, I bet you won't eat one of these. And I thought it was just a regular like jalapeno, man, like a jalapeno pepper. I fucking just ate the whole thing with the heart, roasted, and I just started fucking dying, man. My face got really red. My tonsils started to kind of swell up. I started getting the hiccups, couldn't barely breathe.
Oh my god!
I ran into the kitchen, just started chugging whatever I could grab. It was literally like a movie scene, bro. And then I just like for like that, I was just suffering for a while, and then that's when I kind of just hit me, man. And I was like, that's actually not a bad name, you know, and it's getting into, so it's like, so it kind of just stuck with me, man. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. You know, I could market it really well. And then also, you know, when you eat the ghost pepper, you know what I mean? It always bites back or stings you. And so that kind of, so it's kind of just stuck with me. And I'm not like the average, I don't look like your average like fighter. Maybe now I do, but before back then I had highlights and shit like that in my hair. So it's like I like that pretty boy look, and it's just kind of just stuck with me. So I really liked it, and kind of just made it my own thing, man. So the only ghost pepper for sure.
Right? Yeah, it works, and that is a great story. And sounds awful though. It does not sound like a fun experience, but hey, turned it into something. So very good. And yeah, I don't know any other ghost peppers, so you got that going on, but. Very cool, man. So this has been awesome though, dude. I don't want to keep you for too long. So, you know, can wrap it up here. Been real fun. And obviously, you know, you're open to taking things whenever they come, whenever the opportunity presents itself, aside from that wedding day and all that. But ideally, like if you could choose, when exactly would the next fight be for you?
Ideal if I could choose, man, I'm ready a month from now, you know. If it's a short notice, I could do like for 2 weeks, man, no problem. You know, so it's anywhere within the next month, man, I'm fucking ready. You know, I'm been staying on weight, and I'm still been training, so just ready to go. And you know, especially because I'm fresh off a fight too, so I still got my cardio really well, and I got everything going. It's an all year round sport, you know. Everyone's got to be ready. So ideally, like 2 weeks to a month, man.
Oh, hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, we'll see you next time.